We are going to wake your hips up with quick standing stretches that you can throw in at any point throughout the day. You will need a surface, a heavy, sturdy surface upon which you can rest. Let's go ahead and dive in. The first shape is going to be a standing hamstring exercise, and we're going to add in a little bit of magic as we go. So you need a hard, solid surface upon which you can rest your limb. The height of the surface, I'm using my chair, is going to make a huge difference. So obviously the taller the surface, the more challenging the shape will feel. You want to adjust for where you are currently at. So if I were to drop this down, this would feel way less intense. If I were to rise it up, it would feel way more intense. Please choose a surface that fits where you're at. The floor is also an option. So to start out, I am just stretching. If I want to deepen the stretch without adding any of the extra intention or isometrics, which we'll get to in just a moment, I can do a couple of things. I can tilt my tail back. That automatically, without having to fold over, that automatically lengthens the muscles in that space because of the attachment. So if I take the pelvis and I pull it back, I can think about almost dumping water forward and pulling the pelvis back. And then that's one that may deepen the stretch enough for you. If you want a little bit more, pull the toes towards the kneecap. So you can physically pull them, or you can simply pull the toes actively. You're doing it. Hang there for a few moments, inhales and exhales. If you want to fold over, you are more than welcome to do so, but those two spaces should help to stretch and lengthen the musculature on the back of the thigh by playing around with the attachments, the origin and the attachment of the muscle. Big inhales and big exhales here. Make sure that you are supported. This doesn't need to be a balance exercise at all. And then the next time that you go to deepen the stretch or stretch into it even more, I want you to try to pull the leg down through your surface. So as if you were doing this, right? As if you were taking it and dragging it through your surface. You're not going to do that. It's called an isometric, right? The muscle still tenses, but there is no movement. So you're going to isometrically contract down and into the top of your surface, wherever you're at. And now, as you're contracting, as you're pulling down, slowly fold over. Fold as far forward as you feel like you're able to, that you can still keep contact with your contraction. When you feel like you cannot, when you lose that, take a breath and come back up. Let's do that 2 more times. Big full breath, pull down. Make sure that you can feel your hamstrings and your glutes, the muscles on your bum. Keep that contraction and fold over. Keep the contraction, keep pulling, keep folding flat back. Fold as far forward as you feel like you're able to, that you can still hold. There's still tension in this leg. And then release it. Come back up. Let's do that 1 more time. Big full breath. Tension on. I'm leaving an indent in that pink block right there. I'm folding forward. Inhales and exhales. Feeling that pull. And then when I feel like I've lost the ability to keep the tension, I back it off. Nice full breath. You could check your stretch again. Notice how that feels. Notice if potentially you've got a little bit more space, or simply just a little bit more ease in being in that stretch. And let's do the same thing on the other leg. So we've got that other limb up. Same idea. We're just kind of hanging out for a few moments. Feeling into that stretch. Nice inhale and exhale. You can play around with a few different things. So I know the tendency is just to lean forward. That's often what people do, and that's totally fine. But oftentimes, that's not getting at the deepest aspect of the belly of the muscle. You're just sort of folding from the torso, right? And not changing any of the actual length in the muscle itself. So if we take that pelvis and we tilt it back, right? If I think about if the pelvis is a bowl and I were to dump the bowl forward, then that's one option. That may deepen enough. I can also pull toes. Whew, this is the one that gets me every single time. I can also pull toes in towards kneecap. And that should absolutely deepen the stretch if the first one didn't do too much for you. Now, hanging out in that stretch, inhales and exhales. And now let's start to add that tension. So just like on the other leg, you're trying to pull this limb straight down. Now, as you've got that tension, I can feel my glutes, I can feel my hamstrings. I'm gonna fold forward. I'm gonna fold as far forward as I possibly can. And when I feel like I cannot fold any further forward, I release the stretch. 2 more times. Big full breath, tension on. Folding forward, flat back. Keep pulling that pelvis back behind you. I like to keep support, right? I'm not trying to turn this into a balance exercise. That would be another thing. And then I'm gonna fold as far forward as I possibly can until it feels like I don't have any more tension in that leg. 1 more time. Breath. Folding. Inhales and exhales. Big, full breath. The breath definitely starts to catch the more intense this shape gets. And then back and off. And if you want to test out your shape, go ahead and do that, right? No tension, just fold forward, see how it feels to be there. And then let's move on to the second shape. So the second shape is maybe one that you've seen or done before. We're gonna add just a teeny thing, a different element to it, and it will exponentially change the way that you experience the shape. So I'm gonna place one limb up into a figure 4 on top of my chair. I've created this type of shape, right? This limb is sort of moving into external rotation on top of the chairs. So just like with the hamstring one, the height of these chairs is gonna play a huge difference. If these were much taller, I would find it to be much more challenging to be able to get this limb into this space. Seemingly, I could also drop it down and that would help immensely. Let's talk about what happens if this knee does not want to come down to the other surface, the other side of the surface. I need to prop it. You need to be able to push into this knee, and I don't want you pushing that knee into just random space. So you can take blocks, you can take pillows, you can take a comforter and smoosh it all together and put it underneath, right, on the outside edge of this knee, so that when that limb starts to come down towards the surface that you're on, it has something to rest into. Please do not do this exercise if this knee is just free hanging out to the side. We need stability in both the ankle and the knee. Okay, so once you've got that, now I want you to hang out, just like we did with the hamstrings. You are stretching into it, feeling into that space. I am moving my hips around back and forth so I can feel the different angles. There are so many muscles that live in and around this space, and when we bring the limb into the figure 4, we begin to lengthen or stretch quite a few of them, which is exactly what we want. And so I'm looking for a particularly tender spot, or a spot that feels like it's creating even more of a stretch. And then we're going to do something very similar. So I went on and on about making sure that you have something underneath this knee, and that is because now you are going to begin to pull knee and ankle and pinky toe down into your surface, as if you were trying to shove the surface down using only this limb. You can rest your arms for support, but I want the strength, the contraction to come from this limb. So you're pulling knee and ankle down into the top of your surface. For me, it's my chairs. And now I'm gonna fold over. Keep pulling, stretching the hips back, folding forward. Keep the tension as far forward as I'm able to go. When I feel like I've lost the ability to contract, I use my arms to come back up to standing. Let's do that 2 more times. Tension goes on. and then fold. Keep the back flat. If you are folding over, that's the end of your range of motion, right? Control that space. Nice inhales, nice exhales. Moving through all the different ranges on that stretch. And then when I can't put effort in anymore, I come back to that neutral. Last one here. Big full breath, tension, and moving into that stretch. Hands are there for support. Keep the breath, keep the tension, and then when you lose it, come on up. Okay, let's do that same thing on the other side. We got that other limb into place. We're gonna make sure that it is fully supported. The limbs can look very different than each other. So one side, maybe you need a whole tower of blocks in order to support that knee. And then on the other side, you're able to get the knee closer down, and that's totally fine. Please adjust as needed on either side. Please be kind to yourself. You don't get anything out of not supporting the shape. In fact, you will actually get more out of it and be able to move into a space where you don't need as many props if you give yourself the props, the support in the beginning. So please do that. We are just stretching into the space to begin with. So I'm keeping a flat back. I'm folding over my limb. I'm thinking about pulling my hips back behind me, almost like I'm trying to send my bum backwards, and I am shifting my hips around. So I notice quite a different stretch if I go over, this is my right leg, and if I go over towards the left, I don't feel as much of a stretch, versus if I try to push my body into my right hip, it creates quite a bit of sensation. Okay, let's start to add the effort. So knee, ankle, pinky toe, all simultaneously pulling down through your surface, and now start to fold. Keep your tension. Remember, you can fold as far forward as you want to, as long as you can still find tension. If you put your chest on your calf muscle, but you forget that you have a leg, that's not the goal of the exercise. We need the ability to be able to keep that tension. Keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. Your brain should be ping-ponging back and forth between what you're doing with that leg pulling down and what the torso is doing, folding forward. And then release and come back up. 2 more. Nice full breath. Tension on first. Nice and slow and controlled. This is the definition, in my mind, this is the definition of a moving meditation. I am actively doing something, but if you keep your brain focused on all the things that you should be focusing on, it absolutely turns into a meditation. There's no room for thinking about anything else. Keep that tension. Make sure you're not just folding over, and then release 1 more time. This is not just a regular stretch or a static stretch. We are adding in that element of the isometric contraction to make sure that the muscle is shortening and lengthening at the same time. Last one here. Folding, folding, and folding. Wherever you have room to do so, take a breath and come back out. If you want to test the stretch again or just kind of shift around, you are more than welcome to do so. Feel free to throw this in as much as you like throughout your day, even if it's just 1 rep. Obviously, we did a few of them, but a single rep can have enormous impact, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.